much for joining us today for this Redwood Artist Club webinar. We're looking forward to sharing some club information and resources with you today. But first, let's just dive in and introduce everyone that you see on the screen here on the Redwood side. Eric, why don't you start?
Hello, Eric Smith. I'm the owner and president of Redwood Art Group, and welcome to our first Artist Club webinar.
Hi, I'm Linda Mariano. I'm the Managing Director of Marketing for Redwood Art Group.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, and I'm Exhibitor Attendee Relations Manager.
I'm Laura Mullican. I'm the Creative Director.
I'm Hannah Sharp, and I'm the Social Media Manager.
Rob Hibbs, I'm the IT Web Director.
Perfect. So we'd love for you all to introduce yourselves. So why don't you give your name, where you live, and then what kind of art you create. So let's start with Angelica. Why don't you go first?
Yeah, hi. Yeah, my name is Angelica Lenzen from Munich, and I paint with the light of the world. Looking for beautiful spots where, yeah, like cities, festivities, or events, and take that light and create a one shot with the light that I find.
Amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
And then Mauricio, do you want to go next?
Yes, hi. I am Mauricio Porto. I was born in Brazil. I live in New York. I paint since I was 16 years old, but I used to draw since I was born. So my favorite themes are people, portraits. I bring also a strong influence of pop art, and so I'm here to learn more about the art market, which is very full of details and tricks and a lot to learn. I have spoken with Eric and Kelly. Thank you all for your attention. It's so nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Our pleasure.
And then King Zoo, am I saying that correctly?
Hi, everybody. This is my first time joining this meeting, and I'm glad to have this occasion to hear the experts and the boards, any, artist to give me tips about the style or something else. So far, my paintings just make on your web almost 1 year, but still nothing sold. And I haven't joined any fair with your organization. So I just like to have good advice for me. How can I do at my situation, at my occasion? So I hope get it. Thank you.
Yeah, we do. Dylan, why don't you go next?
Okay, my name is Dylan Rivera, obviously. I've been painting for about 15 years now. I am a digital media major, graduated from Marist College. I'm new to the art group. Just joined this past about a month ago, and I am actually going to be in the art expo in New York City in April. I do contemporary, like pop art. I've been just getting inspiration from pop culture and anything that relates to today's industry, today's world. So I'm all over the place. I kind of dip my hands in a bunch of different fields. So yeah, this is my first time joining like the art group and the Zoom call specifically. So I'm excited to talk to everybody.
Great. Happy to have you.
Likewise.
And then Ed, why don't you go next?
Yes, I go by Jewel Cundiff in the art world, and I'm glad to be here. My style is abstract expressionism, I've been with Redwood for, I guess, 2 years, going on 2 years. My degree is in commercial art, but I've been practicing as an architect for 45 years, painting on the side, but painting in earnest in the last almost 3 years. Have had some luck on sales. Am looking for more sales so that I can attend more fairs. So it's
Awesome.
great to be with you.
Yeah, we're happy to have you.
Thank you.
And then Linda, you're up next. Oh, I think you might be muted. Let's see.
I am. No,
There
I'm
you
not.
go.
I'm Linda Roberts. I live in Helena, Montana. I am a photographer, landscape, nature, and fine art. I've been with Redwood since 2018 and have enjoyed every minute of it. What else? I don't know what else to say.
That's perfect.
We're glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
And then Penny.
Hi, I'm Penny. I'm a landscape and wildlife fine art photographer here in the Florida Keys. And this fall, Spectrum Miami was my first time with Redwood, and I did the online fair, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to many more great years of online and eventually in person.
Very good.
And then Wei, why don't you go next?
Me?
Yes.
Hi, this is Wei Xu, and I live in New York, and I participated last year's Art Expo fair and learn a lot from last year's fair. So this year I will come also, and mostly concentrate on the landscaping, like abstract landscaping. Yeah. And this is first time for this kind of meeting, and I want to learn from everybody. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, happy to have you. Thank you. And then Bobby Jones, last but not least.
Okay, hi everybody. I've been with Redwood about I don't know, maybe I joined this year, so I'm fairly new to being a full-time artist. I started that after I retired, so I've done art all my life, but I'm really into doing the full-time right now. I'm interested in hearing what the group has to say about marketing, and I do make sales through my website, but I haven't had that luck on Redwood as yet. So I'd like to get some feedback from everyone on maybe how to, maybe it's my subject matter or whatever it is. So, and I'm just open to hearing what everyone says. So thank you.
Of course.
Well, great to meet you all. Thank you for being here. And this is the first. This is the first of webinars to come. And it's our intention that the webinars for the Artist Club will not only be, all of us, the Redwood team, but might also be other industry pros, other very established artists to tell their stories, that sort of thing. So that's some of what you can look forward to. I also want to share with you some of the newest club assets that are available for you. So first of all, there's a dashboard. And the dashboard, Laura is posting it so you can see it. And it's also just now posted into the chat here. So the dashboard has a calendar, and the calendar is full of dates. So it's got the Redwood Fair dates, it's got the application deadlines, and then it also lists major art fairs and festivals around the country. And some of these might be, in your backyard, but certainly things to at least visit and see what they're all about. And maybe that besides our fairs, there's other fairs that might be right for you. And then also listed on here are the monthly club webinars. which are scheduled for the third Wednesday of every month. So you can put it on your calendar. And they'll be at 11 o'clock, just like this one, Pacific time, 1 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Eastern. And you'll hear about it in advance in emails like you did for this one, but you can put it on your calendar and know that we're going to be doing those meetings. Also on the dashboard is a resource library. The direct link to the Artist Club resource library is there. You also have a link to, and the resource library, by the way, is full of goodies. You talked about when you were introducing yourself, a couple of you talked about, what can I do to create more? I'm not very good at marketing. What can I do? There's a lot of information here in this resource library. Some of it is written documents, some of it are videos, some of it are artist talks telling you how they did came to their success, or what their story is and how they work it. There's one that I love, it's called Work It Every Day. So check that out. Also in the resource library, there's a direct link to Art Business News. If you're not an Art Business News reader, become one. There are articles posted on Art Business News every week. Art Business News is the oldest, longest running art publication, and it's really written for the art industry. So there's articles there about artists, interviews with artists, spotlights on galleries, all of that sort of thing, as well as some marketing articles and so forth. Art Fair Confidential is our podcast, and there's regular postings there of new podcasts. And we just, in fact, uploaded all of the interviews and podcasts from the 2023 art fairs. So there's lots to listen to. I'm not sure it might be something to listen to while you're creating your artwork, or maybe you like to listen to music, whatever. There's lots of good stuff to listen to there. So that's kind of one of the new things. And then Eric, I think you have a couple of new things to talk about as well.
Yeah. So, again, welcome everybody. I think Mauricio, you kind of said it best in your introduction there, because you said you want to learn about the art business, and you've kind of come to the right place. We're not here with the Artist Club. We're charging a small fee for it to get you involved. And then we're really not here to sell you a booth space or anything else. We're really here this is about education and what journey you're going to take. And all of you might have a different path to get to whatever success means to you. So in some cases, it means sales. In some cases, it means fulfilling and feeling like you are a part of the art community, and you've been, you've gone to a couple shows, maybe you break even, maybe you sell a couple pieces, who knows, but you've kind of achieved that. It comes in many ways, and there isn't any finite or definitive way to become an artist. If you think about, you want to become an HVAC technician and work on air conditioning, you go to a tech school and you learn the ropes, and they go get a job, you get a certificate, and you're like, I'm ready to go. Or like
Easier.
Yeah. I mean, our kids went to school for photography and marketing and programming, computer programming and finances, and they have jobs in these fields, and that's fine, but becoming an artist is completely different. So you got to think about what success means to you and what you want to get out of it. Linda just reviewed 3 portals that we have where you can educate yourself, and then you know, there's certainly the talents that we have. Myself, you know, I ran a number of galleries. I've helped many, many artists. And on the kind of like on the path side, you know, I can help you. On the social media side, Hannah can really help with Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that kind of stuff. And Linda on the marketing side. And at the end of this, you know, you have all of our emails. You can reach out to us anytime. But I'm just giving you an overview of what the club is about. It's about this. It's about sharing small successes. And at the end of, you know, today's whatever we spend 30 minutes on the call today, we're going to give you an assignment. And we want you to take that assignment to heart. And we want you to work on it over the next 30 days. And over the course of the next year, we're going to see some progress. And I'm going to give you a little bit of an example right now of what can happen in a pretty short period of time. We've discovered a long time ago, but we've just got the bandwidth really to really be able to help a lot of artists. And there's, I don't know, 8 or 10 of you on the call today. You know, you guys are you're breaking through the wall. You're the first ones that are kind of doing it. And breaking through the wall is always the toughest ones of breaking through the wall. But, you know, we do a thing in Santa Fe, which kind of prompted us to do this. And we did it for the first time in 2023, and we called it the Artist Collective, whatever you want to call it. It was really education. And there were, I think, 15 artists, right, Linda? 15?
Yep.
That signed up for it. And they get a booth, and I think they paid an extra $500. And the booths in Santa Fe are like $19.95. And what we did was 4 hours of education on Thursday. Then we helped them set up their booth and hang it. And then every day we got together for breakfast, and we told them what to do that day, how to conduct themselves during the show, reaching for small goals. In fact, one of the things I remember was, I want you just to talk to 10 people today. The next day, I wanted you to talk to 10 people and get 5 emails and contact information. And then like the third day, try to sell some art, you know, ask for the money, that type of thing. What credit card do you want to put it on? And we had some real successes where they followed the plan, and, you know, a couple of the people sold multiple pieces at the event and did really well. Some of them, a lot of people actually sold that did our collective. And some of them didn't really know what their goals were and found out at the end that they still had some work to do. And that's kind of what the club is here, where, you know, we can help you virtually like we're doing right now, and, you know, set some small goals for you, and then let you discover where you want to place your resources to become an artist. And I would start with your friends and family, for sure, and see if they like your work. And then, you know, I often coach people to go try a local street fair. You know, the problem, I don't mean to say the problem, but with street fairs, you still have an expense because you've got to go out and buy those booths, you know, that they sell those panels so you can hang your art up, you know, a lot of the materials so you can do that. It's not an easy task because, you know, you're painting and then you get done, and then your question is, how do I price it? And am I doing the right thing? And do I have to frame it? And does it need to be stretched? And all those questions, you know, that's where we can answer them by having you email us and asking those questions, or even asking them on the calls that we're doing. But that's what it's all about. I'm just trying to give you guys an overview of, you know, what this club is about, and, you know, and how we can help you on an annual basis. So does that explain it, Linda?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I think that, you know, there is alongside of this, you know, there certainly are some opportunities. You know, Ed was part of the collective in Santa Fe, and Linda has been an exhibitor at our fairs a number of times, and I think that that's just part of the journey. And, one of the most important elements, and probably more now today, I was just talking to someone earlier this morning um, about Art Expo New York and the history of Art Expo New York. Art Expo New York was started 47 years ago. And that was when there wasn't an internet. It was when it didn't matter what business you were in. You might be in the hardware business. You might be in the food business. What did you do to find new products for your store, for your art gallery? You went to a trade show. And Art Expo New York was a trade show that long ago. Today, it's not that. Today, it's because the industry has changed. And that just leads me to one of the things that's become so important. It's called inbound marketing. And what that means is it's what you're doing to get people to come to you. And Hannah's really an expert on that. It's also called social media marketing. So Hannah, just give us a little tidbit of maybe a couple of things that they should be thinking about. And this will tie back into, I think, what Eric's going to give us as an assignment.
Yeah, absolutely. So social media to me, I think it's really fun and it doesn't need to be taken so seriously. I think a lot of people think of it when they're not in it as this thing that they push to the back burner and kind of forget about, and then maybe days go by and you haven't posted, but just take it as, a fun addition to your art career and a way to really market yourself and reach, how many people are on social media? Millions and millions of people for free. It's such a really good tool. We have a whole social media guide that you can go through and read about, maybe read it, before our next meeting. And if you have any questions, you can definitely come with some questions. And I'm always happy to answer any of those questions. But try to just post once a week and, it'll go to twice a week, 3 times a week, and soon it'll just be ingrained in your brain that you post once a day. And that consistency will lead some traction and kind of get the ball rolling on your whole social media marketing career.
Yeah, it's a good point. And a couple of you brought up the online marketplace and being part of any online gallery or show. You can be part of Art Expo and you're actually listed with the exhibitor list as if you're at the show. Being part of our online marketplace. But I want everybody to be completely clear about online marketplaces. It's really hard to sell your art online, okay? Super hard. There are 2 companies. One of them is Saatchi Art. I'm sure you all know about Saatchi.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is Art Finder out of London. And I personally have met with Saatchi 4 or 5 times up in Santa Monica. And I've met with Art Finder twice. And both times I went to London to meet with them. And these are 2 companies that spend a lot of money on getting eyeballs to their site. And, if you looked at their business model, neither of them are profitable as a whole. Saatchi might be profitable now. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at their numbers in personally being one-on-one with them in a while. It's super hard. They're spending so much money on getting eyeballs to the site. And then they're selling, Maurizio, they'd sell your work and take almost 50% of it now. 45%, I think it's 40-45% is what their commission rate is. And they have to, because if they're not making money, companies that don't make money, they don't last real long. Luckily they're owned by a public company now and they have, pretty deep pockets. The way to sell art is no different than why people take ads in a magazine. They don't take ads in a magazine where people go, oh, I want to buy that. They, you know, artists, they take ads in a magazine so they can say, did you see my work in Art Business News? Or did you see my work in Art in America? Or did you see my work in Art News? It's the same thing for you. If you place your work on our site, Saatchi's site, or Art Finder, or any other online marketplace, you need to reach out to your database and say, go see my work on this site. And what that does is it gives you credibility. It makes you a real artist. It makes you a part of something bigger, which is many artists, you know, trying to sell their work, and people take that to heart. If you just place your work on our site or any other site and you don't work it, you're never going to sell any art. Because people, they just, you know, people just don't go to an art online thing and then just buy work. It does happen in our shows sometimes because a lot of people will go to the show and then after the show, they'll go shop art, right? It's like a catalog online. And, you know, and we get calls all the time about people that want a piece of art. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, if you're a new artist, you don't know anybody. It's the same thing that I explain to new artists when they do our show. Dylan, you're going to do New York, and nobody's going to know you at the show because you've never done the show before. So there's a perfect example, you know, use Hannah's help and make sure that you're posting prior to the show, especially to all your friends and everybody you can, and say, come see my work at Art Expo New York. That gives you credibility. Here's what booth number I'm in. That's the best way to do an event. And even if you have a couple pieces that are already sold, or you know, you sell or you have interest the first day, put some hold stickers up and red dots up. It gives other people permission to buy. Same thing with your online marketplaces. People want to see the pieces have sold. So keep that in mind with your online marketplace. It takes you to drive people there to see your work. We do spend money on it. We do have, what are we up to, Linda? 147,000 subscribers. Is that right?
175,000.
175,000 subscribers to our website. So, you know, we've been doing this a long time and we have a lot of people that follow us and they go there and we sell work. But as a new artist, it's hard and it's a long path. And, you know, I mean, you've heard people say it takes a lifetime to become a successful artist. It's true. But there are successes, and we've recorded them. The Gebhardts are one of them. They work it every day. I just got off the phone with them an hour ago. Every day they're working it. They're on their way to deliver a piece of art right now. And they called me from their van on driving to deliver a piece of art. But every day they're working it, and that's what it takes. And they've gone from, you know, owning a spa, and then Chris was a trainer. And they've pretty much given up they have given up over the last 5 years, all of their other businesses, and they've become full-time artists. And they're making a very good living selling their work full-time. So it can be done.
Sorry.
Well, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask a question. I think, well, first of all, I had a great show at Spectrum Miami that was absolutely fantastic. But I had one experience that probably just, gave me a little bit of insecurity. And that was because I'm a photographer. How is it with the expectation in the fine art photography? How many editions is there to expect that collectors will be interested, or if you can make a difference between collectors and art lovers? Because I had an approach and I think she was interested in buying one of my pictures, and then she asked, yeah, how many editions? And I said 17. And she's like, why 17? And she was like a little bit upset somehow. And I tried to explain why I liked the number, but I didn't have a super reason why 17. I just liked the number. And and she was just like kind of upset, I must really say, in a way. And then I really started thinking, oh my gosh, what about my concept now? Is that correct? what is there
Well,
to expect?
yeah, you know, I know your work with the light and it's really pretty work, and you could make the additions pretty low because as an artist, as a creator, you have to think about how fast you can work. I'll give you a very quick example. I used to have an artist that could do 400 paintings a year. He painted with a palette knife and he painted with acrylic. So it dried quickly. He could do big paintings, 36 by 48, 48 by 48, 48 by 60. And he painted fast, and he was a great landscape painter. And we sold his paintings from $5,000 to $15,000. We bought every painting that he made, and we bought him at 50-50, 50-50, 20, 50-50, 10. 50-50 means the painting was 10,000, 50 off is $5,000, 50 off that is 2,500, 10% off that was 2,250. He didn't care. You paint 400 paintings a year, and 400 or 500 paintings a year, and you know you're getting $2,000 plus for every painting. You wouldn't care either. You'd be like, fine, I'm going to keep cranking them out. But you get the idea. He could paint quickly, you know, and if you can make work quickly, then go ahead and do really low additions. You could do additions of 3, and then you could say, look, you know, I mean, I'm from Europe. I sold 2 over there. This is the only one that's going to be sold in the United States. Oh, I'll take it. So, you know, and then go on and make another image and do an addition of 3 or 5. 3 or 5 would be fine, you know. So that's my take on it depends. You know, if you can only paint 12 paintings a year, you know, and you're selling them for $7,000, that's a total of 84 grand. You better sell them direct, because you don't want a dealer involved. You're not going to make any money. It's not going to be worth it. So you got to do the economics like that, right?
Okay, thanks very
The,
much.
the
Yeah.
other thing, Angelica, to think about is sizes. So
Yeah.
it might be an addition of 3 in this size, and there's an addition of 3 in another size. So it gives that image a little more revenue volume that way.
Yeah, thank you very much. That sounds very, yeah, special. I can understand that now. Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong, by the way, with an addition of 17. I think that's just fine. There's certainly fine art, very successful fine art photographers with additions that are much higher than 17. But I guess the other thing to think about is, where are you starting? You know, Linda, you might even have a couple of comments about, because you're also a successful fine art photographer.
I am a fine art photographer, and I do limited editions. I try to limit the total amount of images to about 30. So I'll do 5 of one size, and then maybe 20 of a size twice as large or twice as small, or half the size, excuse me, of the edition of 5. So edition of 5 of, say, 24 by 36, edition of 20 of the 12 by 18, just as an example. So that's how I do it. But you know, limited editions are so, I want to say tricky, but they're hard. It's hard to figure out how to establish. And, you know, do you do everything in an edition, or do you do some things in an edition and other things open edition? It's just all these questions roll around in your head when you're doing this. You probably understand that.
I do.
Well, that's, yeah.
Well, and I think that's part of the challenge, because you know, at the moment that you're producing it, limited edition, it doesn't matter whether it's a photograph or it's a fine art painting. If you're doing limited editions, at the point of establishing the edition, you're setting it, because the certificate of authenticity documents it.
Exactly.
And that's what makes the piece valuable. A certificate of authenticity is really, really, really important when you're talking about limited editions, because it establishes literally the value of the piece, because it spells it all out. And what the, you know, worldwide total is. So in Linda's case, she's, you know, it's a worldwide total of 30. And that means that there's 5 of this and 20 of this and 5 of this, and that's it. It doesn't mean, because you, as the artist on any piece of artwork, you always, in the United States, you hold the copyright. That doesn't mean that you couldn't create it in another media or as an open edition. So there's, when you think about limited editions, there's other ways of creating them. So this edition is on Hahnemühle prison, whatever it is. And that's spelled out. So, you know, there could be another edition that's on aluminum.
I wouldn't, yeah, she's right, but I wouldn't get hung up on that stuff. I would, at the beginning of your career, don't worry about it. Just make low editions and go make more art. Right?
Yeah, like Pablo Picasso also did that. No? He did that as well. He actually had lots of paintings.
Oh my God, he was so prolific.
Yeah, just keep it moving. Just keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Thank you very much.
And what do you think about selling prints from original works, like original painting? Then I take the picture and sell the prints. Is that fine? That keeps the original piece is a nice value or not?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the business has changed quite a bit. And if you have a market for selling prints, this is a print behind me, you know, by the Art Police. They're out of London, and I mean, it was only $250 at Red Dot, Miami. You know, but you know, I met the Art Police. It was done for a cause. They were doing a mural, and you're kind of contributing to the cause, and you got to. Anyway, so I liked it and I bought it. I bought one for our son. And so, but you know, if this printer, yeah, it's a good way to get somebody involved in collecting art. Most people started by collecting prints, right? And Picasso made prints because he couldn't make enough art. He had a big audience and he made prints. He made offset lithography, lithographs, all kinds of stuff, including ceramics at some point. But yeah, if you can sell prints at a low price and get people involved, maybe they buy an original one day. Just keep your prints low. You know, in the old days, I'm talking in the 80s, you know, when I started in the art business, you know, we were doing editions of 400, right? Of some of these famous art, including Andy Warhol. We published a lot of Andy Warhol and Keith Haring. And we would do editions of anywhere from 100 to 400. I mean, I remember selling electric chairs for $2,200, and today they're, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars. Marilyn Monroe was less than 15 grand, and today it's, you know, 300,000.
Yeah.
And prints can obtain value, but you know, you're not all going to be Andy Warhol, right? So keep the prices relative, do them low, and then if somebody buys the original, normally you give them a print free. You say, I'm going to make an edition. I'm going to make an edition of 50 of these. I want you to know that if you buy the original is yours. You get to keep it. I own the copyright. I'm only making an edition of 50, and I'm going to give you one as a gift. And they'll be like, oh, that's great. And then they tell their friends when they have a dinner party, oh yeah, this piece was so good. He made an edition of it, you know.
That's
and we have, yeah. That's a nice gesture for you to do for.
And I think that that's a good example of how you spin it and how you market it. And so it's not in that way, it takes away from the, oh, you're making prints, doesn't that diminish the value of the original? No, actually, I want you to know about, you know, and so you're telling them the story of, and also of how much you enjoyed making the piece, you're telling them the story of the piece, and that, you know, you really think it's a masterpiece, and so you've made a few prints of it as well. And I think that's all part and parcel of the marketing spin and the, you know, the story you build around it, because it's the story. that they're
Yes,
buying.
I'm asking this because I have an original piece here with me that was created in 2019 for an exhibition in Brazil. And I have sold 3 prints already. So I limit like 10, but I don't know because people love, but this last one I sold was overseas, was to Brazil. So it was easier to sell the print, was printed there and ship it there than to grab from here, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any way you can, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. That's great. An addition of 10 is very low.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Ed.
It's difficult for me to work smaller than 48 by 48. I really enjoy doing diptychs, triptychs, elliptics, whatever. The last 2 paintings I've done, one of them is 12 feet long by 4 feet high. The other one is 24 feet long by 5 feet tall. And of course, I had a gallery owner ask me if I could roll it. And the question, you know, put it in a tube and mail it. And he said, you know, just cost me $100 to have it stretched when it gets here. Do you see much of that happening? And the problem that I have with the thought of it is that I work in acrylic enamel, I work in alkyd enamel, I work in oil paint, I work in acrylic paint, and I use a lot of texture. And so rolling art, once it's dry, and some paints like oil and alkyd take a long time.
Yeah.
And I see an artist in the Kansas City area who works flat on the floor, large pieces, unstretched, and is apparently doing very well. Is that something that you can speak to? You have experience with that?
Yeah. If you can roll it and ship it, it's the best way to go. We tell lots of our exhibitors, especially European, Israelis, you know, Asian, if they can ship their work over on canvas and they can roll it and put it in a big tube, then, you know, we have a good framer in every one of our cities that can just stretch it for 2, 3, whatever it may be, and they don't have to pay this enormous, you know, shipping fees. So yeah, that's great, but just get somebody who knows how to roll it properly. And acrylic, you know, is pretty durable. You just, but if you're painting with a lot of texture, you don't want it to chip or anything like that. So
right.
But yeah, if you can do that, it's you know, economically, it's way better.
Well, the paints, for example, acrylic house paint tends to crack as it dries. And even if you roll it face out, you know, with the
stretching,
it may not, some of it may be in the bottom of the tube when it gets there. So I either need to consider that in the style of the painting that I'm doing and the paint that I work with. You know, you like it.
Yeah, it's people that paint in large format that have a problem, and some of them end up buying a van and driving all over the country and delivering and hanging their own work. You know,
I know an artist who does that. Yes.
Yeah.
It's not what I want to do, but not what I can afford to do at this point. But
yeah.
But I do find that most of my contacts are on Instagram. Even though I'm posting with them through GoDaddy 2 times a week, and then I post myself in addition to that probably 3 or 4 times a week. But my website directs them to my storefront on Redwood Art Group. So that's where I am now, and am rather astonished that Instagram is really seems to be where most collectors and art lovers find me.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the platform itself is enormous.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you on the info.
Yeah, you're welcome. So we've been on the phone for 45 minutes. We want to keep these under an hour. And I'm going to give you an assignment now, all of you. And you might already have some of this done. If you do, great, but start a database. If you haven't already, start a database. And in a database, you want to capture a minimum of somebody's email, well, their name and their email. And, you know, the more information you get, the better, but most people are pretty easy about giving up their email, so you could send them emails if they're interested in your work. Start with your friends and family if you haven't got a database at all, and just say, hey, I'm going to start sending an email once a month and some of my new work. Would you like to see it? Yeah. And then they'll, you know, give you permission to put them in in your database and start a database. Start an Instagram account and post 5 times between now and the next call in, when is it? February, right, Linda?
February 21st. Yep.
Yeah.
Quick question.
You got
Okay, there's a post and there's a story and there's a reel. Do all of those qualify?
Yeah, that's fine. And
Oh.
same with Facebook. So, you know, start a Facebook account, and if you need help with any of these things, you can contact Hannah. She can help you very quickly. And post 5 times on that. So
Anna, I need your help. It's hard, this thing about like being an artist, and also you have to post, you have to do, to tell people what you're doing. And I also share my activities as a marketing director. So, but I want to go ahead with my paintings. Yeah.
Don't get overwhelmed.
Oh yes, of course not. Yeah.
No, just, you know, it's going to take you 5 minutes once you set up the account to post.
Yeah.
Yeah, but these meetings are going to be great to
Yeah, and that's it. That's your whole assignment between now and the next one. Then I want to hear about if you got any likes, and, you know, how do you how do people repost, and Hannah will start you on all of that, and we'll see how it goes. It'll go well.
Eric and Kelly, I'll be participating in the Art Expo New York this year. I will be with Snat's Gallery, because I got connected with her like one of the, I think the last Art Expo, and she happens to be Brazilian. She not that I want to work only with Brazilian people, of course, but makes easier. Like so I got connected with her.
Yeah.
I'm participating in her booth, and I'm planning to also this year, maybe if I get good in sales, I want to go to Miami also.
Good. Great.
Yeah.
Good.
Those are our 2 big events.
I want to say thank you all for joining us today. We'll see you next time on Wednesday, February 21st. Remember, we're always here for you if you want to take advantage of our coaching sessions. Just reach out with your questions and needs. Our emails are on the bottom of the dashboard, and we're here to help support you on your journey in the art business. We're going to close today with our new Artist Club video. It's a fun look at what we've been discussing. Enjoy, and we'll see you again on February 21st.
Ready to begin your art journey? Want art to be your career, not just a hobby and obsession? Join the Redwood Artist Club. What is it? It's a club, it's a collective, it's a marketplace. It's an easy, inexpensive way to enter the art world. If you're ready to expand your market and get serious about making art a business, the Redwood Artist Club is your complete solution. It's the one place where you'll have access to what you need to build your success. It's a journey worth taking. It all begins with the club webinars, regularly scheduled gatherings with industry experts and fellow artists, where you can get advice, feedback, and enjoy the camaraderie of community. Use the resource library to educate yourself and learn the ins and outs of the art business. Join club online events to gain knowledge and insights on the best business practices and thought leadership. Ready for more? Join the Redwood Marketplace. Use the platform as your marketing and online storefront where buyers connect with you directly to collect and buy. And it's all commission-free. The next step for your career is participating in live events. The Redwood Artist Club gives you the confidence to launch this next important avenue for building your career and business. With Redwood's 5 annual art fairs and booth prices starting at $19.95, it's a commitment to establishing long-term success and sustainability as a career artist. Being part of the club is when your journey starts to accelerate. Club members get individual coaching and access to Redwood's team. Connect with our social media marketing manager, Hannah Sharp, and get ideas and tips on how to promote your work on social media. Talk with our CEO, Eric Smith, for questions about pricing, connecting with galleries, strategic business practices, and more. Get savvy tips from Managing Director of Marketing, Linda Mariano, on the best ways to promote your work, define channels of distribution, and market outreach. Run ideas and questions by your personal account representative, Kelly Smith, Redwood's Marketplace Director. It's an annual membership for artists and galleries. It's your marketing platform. It's your community. For an annual fee of $250, you engage on your journey to building a successful career. And when you display the Redwood Artist Club logo and membership on your website, your social platforms, in your newsletters, and communications, it demonstrates your credibility and inclusion in the art industry. Art Business News, the art industry's news leader for more than 4 decades, will publish regular stories about the club, its members, their artwork, and their stories. What are you waiting for? It's time to make the investment in your career and future success. Only $250 a year. It's less than $21 a month to get your business growing. That's less than a latte a week. So get ready for success. Join today. We look forward to welcoming you to the club.